my darlings, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Cindy from iowander.com. So today marks 1 month into the Lunar New Year, and I thought it would be interesting if I made this video to share with you guys how we celebrate Chinese New Year's and all that good stuff. So Lunar New Year is based off of the lunar calendar. I don't know exactly how that works, but it's something to do with like moon cycles and what have you. So yeah, if you notice, like on Chinese calendars, there's always two dates. There's the regular date that the rest of the world goes by, and then there's also like a lunar date. So this year, Lunar New Year fell on February 12th, and it is the year of the ox. So every year is a different zodiac sign. Last year, it was the year of the rat, and then next year is going to be the year of the tiger. But yeah, so this year is the year of the ox. I think Chinese New Year's is probably the biggest holiday in my household, and it's actually one of my favorites because it's kind of like a do-over for me, like a fresh start. You know how like there's regular New Year's and then you have like your resolutions? So for me, like if I screw that up, then I also have like Chinese New Year's to fall back on. And I remember when I was living overseas in Korea and New Zealand, like this is usually the time I would start getting homesick because, you know, I start thinking about family and like all the traditions we had back home and what I can't do like overseas. But yeah, so let's jump into it and start with customs. In Asia, Chinese New Year's is a huge holiday. It's this really big ordeal. People celebrate for about 2 weeks. So businesses are closed, people are taking time off. I would say that in the States, it's probably not as extravagant. For my family, we celebrate within a few days. So the holiday revolves around this theme of wealth, prosperity, good luck, and fortune. And red is a lucky color. So around the holiday, we usually wear red. It's like red, everything just decked out in red, right? Or shades of red or something. But yeah, and then also like for us, the biggest day is probably New Year's Eve. So in Chinese, it's when you have Qingnian Fan. So that's when you eat with the whole family, and it's like the biggest day is bringing in the new year. And then also, I think most people know, but we get these little red envelopes called lacy, and also it's like given for like good luck and whatnot. And then also we have this thing where you're supposed to put $168 in your wallet, or make sure you have $168 because in Chinese the number is yet lo bat, which is kind of like yet lo fat, kind of like continue to become richer, right? So it's good luck to put that like $168 in your wallet. But yeah, so next let's talk about prepping for New Year's. I would say the biggest preparation that we do for New Year's is the big cleaning. We do a deep cleaning of the entire house, laundry, wash the sheets. Basically, you just want to clean out all the dirty stuff, like the bad stuff, wash it all away, and then get ready for the new year and all the new things to come. So the 28th is like the prime day to clean. In Chinese, it's Ya Ba Ma La Tat. Basically, it's kind of like a play on words, and because 28, it kind of rhymes with 30, it's like on the 28th, let's get rid of all the dirty stuff. But yeah, so as long as you do the cleaning before Lunar New Year, you're good to go. You just don't want to do it on New Year's Day. But yeah, so then also another thing is we get a haircut before New Year's, right? Because you want to like look all dialed up and you want to look your best and, you know, like fresh and whatnot. Yeah, and then also you want to prep like any foods that you're going to be eating on New Year's Eve and on New Year's. So this is the time to do other food preparations. So my parents did a lot of prepping this year. On that note, let's talk about my favorite topic, food. So let's start with the things that you should avoid eating on New Year's. I have 2 items on my list. So the first is kanji. In Chinese, it's called jok. There's a link between kanji and poverty. I think it's based like back in the day where people couldn't afford to eat like noodles or like any of the more expensive foods, so they would just eat kanji. So on New Year's now, you just kind of want to avoid eating that because you want to be able to eat, you know, better foods, right? Like it just means that you can afford lots and lots of variety of different kinds of food. And another thing is to avoid eating any form of melon. So in Chinese, melon is called gua, and it's similar to the word for death. So you just kind of want to avoid eating that as well. So now that we've covered the things that you should avoid eating, let's start talking about the things that you should eat around New Year's. So first we have gut, and that's tangerine or Chinese mandarins. And we eat this because the word is similar to the word meaning good luck. So eat lots and lots of gut. And then there is zhong, which is like a stuffed rice cake thing with meat and mung bean inside. And we eat this because the word zhong is similar to the word that means winning, right? So we eat a lot of that. And then there is nin go. And that's kind of like a rice cake made out of brown sugar. And we eat that because it kind of symbolizes always growing, like excelling. So then there's fish, yi, because that basically means like you constantly have a surplus of things, like an abundance, you never run out, right? So we eat a lot of fish. And then we also eat noodles because noodles represent long life. And then, oh, you don't ever want to cut the noodle. So the longer the noodle, the better, because it just means the longer the life, right? And then we also eat sesame balls. That is called, oh, what's that called in Chinese? I forgot. 针堆, yeah, 针堆. And we eat this because it's like golden and round, and it kind of looks like, I don't know, like gold or whatever. And that's the same goes for dumplings, which is called gaoji. We eat that because it kind of looks like the golden nuggets. And last but not least, we have tongyin, which is a sweet soup made out of like little rice cakes, like round rice cakes. And that's because it represents harmony and everyone being together and being harmonized and peaceful. So now let's talk about day of superstitions. So these are things that you don't want to do unless you want a year full of bad luck. So number one is do not break anything. It just means bad luck. So just don't do it. Just don't break anything. Number two is don't sweep the floor because it's like sweeping away fortune and all that stuff. And then you don't wash your hair because it's like washing the luck away. And then you want to avoid saying like inauspicious words. So you want to avoid swearing, just saying bad things. So just try to be good for a day at least. And then also you don't want to do any borrowing or lending of money. It's just not a good look. You just kind of don't want to do that on a New Year's. So if you need to do that, just do that before the New Year or after. Just don't do it on the New Year's. So I think that covers the highlights of Chinese New Year celebrations. It's different for every household, but this is just how me and my family do it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something new. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about our traditions, or if you celebrate it differently, please let me know as well. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with all my videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!